going to be a new way or it's something different that I'm going to try here. So keep in mind, I'm more of a contractor, less of a technical guy. So hopefully I can solve all the issues, and it's going to really help getting some feedback from all of you guys as well. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be doing a live stream. Basically live streaming everything on this entire process of this bathroom remodel, including the process of how I capture these videos for a bathroom remodeling teacher. So let me know in the chat, because I'm so familiar, not even familiar with this own software here, of seeing any of the chat coming in. If you give me a thumbs up, give me something, let me know that you can hear me at this location. The audio is going to be tough on this. I'm going to say that right off the bat. So be careful. If you're watching this later, maybe turn it down when you see me pick up that saw or that sawzall, because I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to make sure that okay, thank you, Nicholas. I appreciate it. I'm not sure how loud it's going to be and what I'm going to have to do to make this better so that it's not like blowing out your eardrums while I'm doing it. Adam, awesome, man. Thanks so much. So yeah, I'm really excited to share this all with you. This is going to be completely raw footage. I mean, you're going to be hearing me repeat myself a bunch of times because, I'm going to be going over on basically capturing, my wife's going to be there capturing the actual film on a better camera, and we're going to be going through the whole process of how I create these videos and intros. So you're going to hear me repeat myself many different times. So keep that in mind. And then every 30 minutes, I'm going to try to take a break and get some Q&A on here. So if you guys have any questions, I might be able to help you out. I'm not going to spend too much time on that because we're just trying to get all this technical stuff together. And I want to get this bathroom demoed. I actually wanted to start on earlier, but I was having trouble getting everything moving. So anyways, we're going to get into it. I'm going to show you this bathroom. Actually, while I'm here, I got this little remote control so you can see what the whole bathroom looks like. The wide angle of this turned out okay. I wish I could zoom out further, but that's about the best we're going to get. But there's a lot of stuff in this bathroom that I did over the years that I'm not exactly proud of or didn't really work out the way I had hoped. And a lot of it came down to inexperience. We'll get into it here shortly. I'll show you everything. But this is going to kind of pan through and show it. So we're going to hopefully be able to move this camera around as well so that you can view it. I have no viewership inside, so I'm not going to be able to see anything. So again, please be patient with this. And then if you're watching this later, you can speed through a lot of this stuff and get to the Q&A or get to the stuff that you want to see. So make sure you're using those tools on Facebook or YouTube if you're watching this later. So, all right, I'm going to snap off of here, get into the bathroom, and we're going to start filming and get things moving. So thanks everyone for joining, and probably around 11:45 or so, we'll come back here and we'll get some Q&A. So, okay. So this is going to be the intro to the whole bathroom, I guess.
Okay.
So, well, let me talk to them first before we do that. Before I repeat myself, and check out the chat to see if they can hear me and stuff as well. All right, so I'm in the bathroom space. Again, give me a thumbs up. Let me know whether you can view this. Anybody who's viewing this, let me know if you can hear me okay. And again, the audio is going to be the trickiest part of this. It's what I've been spending most of my time on, trying to figure out how to do this. But anyways, this bathroom renovation, this is a home that I purchased long time ago. This is my first home. I was 21 years old when I bought it. I really knew nothing about home improvement. I really had limited skills. I had gone to carpentry school, so I kind of learned some of the basics, but I never really had any experience on my own. In this house, boy, that really shot me right into it. I was 21, didn't have very much money. Everything that I had went into it to actually purchase the place. I started my own business. So it was just a real, a whirlwind time period. And, coming down to doing home improvements, what really pushed me into doing this was just the fact that I couldn't afford to pay anybody to do any of this stuff. So this bathroom, I've always hated. I never liked anything about it. This is a home was built in 1910. So the era, everything was, I mean, there's every type of wiring in this house. There was gas lighting. It's just a very, very old home. And one of the problems with this bathroom, it's decent sized, but the layout absolutely sucked. There was a window that existed here before when I bought the place, and it was in a really bad location from what I can figure out on how to do this. So you can see here, I have a little bit of light coming in here. Hopefully you'll see that. You'll see that soon anyways. But there's a window that I had done the exterior earlier this month, and I put a new window in. We're going to bring the window back into the space, but the window is just in a bad location. As you can see, my 5-foot tub overhangs my window. You'll see that as well, why that is. Really, I think what they did in the back, back in the 1910s, they just had a clawfoot tub. And so the window didn't really interfere with the system there. You can also see up top here, I have a bunch of 45-degree angles. I don't know what was going through my mind when I ever did that. It's just something that, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what my thought process was on that, but there's mold in here. So we're going to change this entire layout. As my bottom line, we're going to change out the entire layout of the bathroom. So this is more functional. We're still going to stay with the time period. We're going to give it a nice, fresh look. So I'm really excited to show you everything going on. Now, a lot of this stuff, when I tear up, I really don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know what it looks like. I know I put this new floor down. I can't remember how exactly I did that. I did the floor about 7 or 8 years ago, and everything else has just kind of been a patch. And because there's always tenants living here, so I never had the ability to really get in here and renovate the bathroom. So, all right, we're going to get started. What I'm going to be doing is the bathroom intros for a more polished video, because this camera and the live streaming stuff does not go well. Doesn't have a very good visual. The 4K camera that we use makes it a lot better. Plus, the bread and butter of the channel is really having those polished videos and teaching you how to go about this. So, all right, so you're going to hear me repeat some of that as we go on. Hey, you can just tune in every once in a while, see where I'm at, because this is going to be a long live stream, probably going to be 3 hours at least, I would imagine, by the time we demo all this down. So.
Okay, so for the intro, you just kind of want to go into, basically what they said, just the history with the house and stuff, or you want to have like a long version and then like a short version, maybe choose from?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, let's just freestyle and see where it lands, okay?
Okay.
Don't be distracted.
I got too many cameras.
So many cameras. Okay. Oh my God, it's been forever.
You can hear me audio is all right.
Yes.
Okay, all right. In this video, I want to go over the entire renovation process of a full bathroom renovation. This bathroom in particular was where I started out with all construction. I bought this home when I was 21 years old. I had just started my own contracting business, unrelated to bathrooms. I actually was doing power washing and simple exterior finishes. I didn't get into the complications that it takes to actually do a bathroom too many years later. And I would really suggest that for anybody who's considering doing that for a bathroom remodel, is to do other home and projects first. Get your mechanical abilities going. Get used to the tools, get used to being able to be under pressure, maybe replace your front door, something that gives you a little bit of challenge that you have to get done. No one wants to have their front door wide open to the outside elements, but a bathroom is just as pressuring, especially if you only have 1 or 2 bathrooms in the home. Your whole family's relying on it, so you have to get things done efficiently. So anyways, this is where it all started. This is where it all started, was home ownership. It forced me to learn how to go about doing things, wiring, plumbing, roofing, siding, you name it. And this bathroom in particular, I've always despised. I never liked the layout of it. This is built in 1910, so the home is really old. and a lot of the features that we have today, they didn't have back then. Most likely back in 1910, they just had a clawfoot tub with no shower head, just a tub, and that's all they had. So they had a window here, and we'll get into this. You'll see how there's an existing window back here that I put back into place. But when I first bought the place, I didn't know what to do. So I just covered over the window and I got rid of it. But it made the outside of the house look terrible, and it made it a really dark space. You can also see I have a lot of mold issues in this space. A lot of that has to do with my ventilation fan not working very well, but having a window would definitely help that out. You can air out the bathroom more often. Really what we're going to do here, we're going to completely change the layout, and I want to basically move all of my fixtures into a more traditional fashion that's going to make a lot more sense. We're going to put the tub on the back wall, and we're going to open up this space for the window, so it's going to look really great. So follow along, use the tabs below, use the YouTube resources or the video that you're watching. Speed it up if you want to get to something else. I also have timestamps in here as well. So this is going to be a long form video, and I'm going to go through the entire process.
Yeah, maybe just, that was good. Maybe just a short and sweet. Were you going to do a separate video on just the demo alone of this bathroom?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
2 more.
Yeah, 2 more, and I want to do one for the course.
Okay, so 3.
Yeah.
You ready?
So
wait, shorten up what you just said.
Okay.
Like just have a shorter version
For
of
a
it.
demo.
No, I think for like just this whole bathroom, you might not want to have all the.
Yeah.
So just 2 to pick from there, and then 1 for demo, and then 1 for your course.
Okay. All right.
Is that good?
Okay. All right, it's been a long time waiting. I've been wanting to redo this bathroom for decades now. I literally bought this house 22 years ago, and I've always hated the layout. I've had tenants living here over the years. It was always hard to clean. There was always mold issues, and I definitely have my fair share of leaks and issues. So we're gonna gut this thing and completely get this down to the studs and relay out the bathroom so it's a nice, clean, open space and more traditional feel. So I'm really excited to show you. Follow along and you'll see all of what it takes to remodel a bathroom. Okay.
All right. So then just 1 for the demo.
Demo.
So
Okay. All right.
Video on the demo. Okay. All right. Ready?
Yeah. All right. Demo day. This is the day that most people are pretty anticipating to be a very difficult day. It's actually one of the parts that I really despise the most. It's the hardest part of the project in a lot of ways, getting all of this stuff out of here. It's also the day that you end up uncovering all the additional issues that you're going to have to solve and fix. But when it comes to demo, I really do recommend, especially in an old bathroom, to gut it all the way down to the studs, inspect that electrical, inspect that plumbing, and really evaluate what needs to be done to make your bathroom a very sustainable place. You don't want to be putting tens of thousands of dollars over top of old plumbing or rotten framing. You want to be able to start from the foundation and work your way up.
And then the course.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first off, thanks so much for purchasing my course. This really means a lot to me. It also means that you're wanting to get prepared and learn before you get into a bathroom remodel. And it really does take some time and effort to think things through and figure out exactly not just what you want and the design that you want, but knowing that there's going to be other things that you're going to uncover that you're going to have to overcome. So there's a lot of challenges involved. That's the main reason I'm here, is to support you throughout the whole project. So make sure that you watch all of these videos so that you at least know what you're going to get into before you get started, because it's really easy to get overwhelmed, especially when you first start out, because you start uncovering all types of problems and it could take you a bit longer than what you initially anticipated. So good thing you're here, because learning this before you get started is really a great first step.
Damn, honey, you're on fire.
I
was just gonna say the pressure is good.
All right, then I want to do one more for the demo.
Okay.
Okay, so demo. This is the first step of the process. Hopefully you followed my guidance prior to this and getting yourself organized. Make sure that you have most of the materials there. I'll have lists that hopefully you went through and you kind of gathered things together. You don't want to be running out to all the home stores multiple times of the day, because your family or whoever you live with is going to be really upset, and it's going to make it harder for you to get things done. It could possibly make it easier for you to get overwhelmed. So being prepared and having a lot of these materials on hand before you get to this stage is a really good idea. But demo, we're going to just basically cut this all the way down to the studs, and you'll see why as I uncover some of the problems of some of the things that you might find in your own home, especially these older homes. They've been remodeled many, many times. Yeah, we'll get started, show you how they go about doing this demo.
Now it's time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You got a nice compliment.
What's that?
You're the best channel for realistic bathroom remodel. Nice compliment.
What's going on? Yeah. All right, great.
Yeah, that vanity's not gonna work downstairs. Put it there for my marketplace. It's blown.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so first step, always shut off the water to the bathroom. You don't want to be puncturing any water lines as you're demoing all this stuff out. It's also not a bad idea to be able to know exactly where your outlets and everything are connected, just in case you get into the electrical. Typically, when you're doing the demo process, that's not super important, but it's still a good idea to know what your breakers are and where they are. In this particular situation, I've already disconnected everything because you'll see I had knob and tube wiring in this old bathroom and basically all the lighting circuits. So I have a temporary light up right now that I ran prior to doing this, mainly for the filming process. But yeah, know where your electrical is, turn off the water. And normally where I like to start is just get some of this stuff out of my way so that I have some room for my tools and get anything out of it. So we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the toilet, which is usually a fairly simple process. This is somewhat of a newer toilet I installed a couple years ago. And I actually had a leak on it, so that's why it shouldn't be a problem. You might want a grinder to cut off old rusty bolts, but in this particular situation, this is like a newer piece, so not a big deal. Disconnect the water supply. Okay, then I did caulk this entire base, so that's kind of really stuck to the board. So we're gonna cut that silicone joint. use this downstairs, honestly. In fact, I think I will. Get anything wrong with it.
I will.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put a sponge in the water supply for now, or the toilet flames, prevent that gases from coming up. Get rid of our cabinet here. Okay, so vanity, pretty simple. Just disconnect your trap. Now we're going to be replacing all of this drain piping, so I'm really not concerned about anything that's existing, especially in the water lines. I'm cleansing those off and replacing them. So. So I could already see one issue already is we don't have a vent for the vanity. So that's probably why it was so slow draining. You always need some kind of air coming into it. That was an illegal fitting the way I had that with the S trap for a vanity. Definitely not the way to go. Without air, you're not going to allow the water to seep out easily. All right, so most of the time, tops are just siliconed on. Remove that. Throw this out.
All right.
Come on. It sure is. Okay, so we might as well move that to the top surround.
Yeah.
But I just want to go ahead, turn it on. I just want to show you one thing. If you ever see this, this is definitely not something that you want to see. An S-trap for your vanity sink. There's no vent whatsoever on this. So if you have a slow draining vanity sink, it's because they put an S-trap on there. This is nowhere close to being right. All right, let me see if I can move it. What does it say how many people are even on there?
That says right. Yeah. Yeah.
We're 27 minutes in. All right. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of this tub surround. This is actually somewhat new, and I mean, not new. I mean, it's probably less than 10 years old that I did this. Again, not very proud of the work that I did here. This was, one of the things about rentals is that you're constantly never wanting to do anything to them. Once they're rented out, that's great. But even somebody like myself who can do everything on the project or on the house, I just never come over here to maintenance the house when it's rented out. It's just, it's problematic trying to get the tenants to organize with them. And then if they're living here, it's just, I find it to be stressful. So most of the time when somebody moves out, I just do a quick renovation so it looks new and clean, move somebody in there. But I did this tub surround, and I'm pretty sure I used the newer products. I think I used the Weedy tub surround kit back there. But one of the things I'm really disappointed with is the grout. I used this stuff called Quartz Lock. It's a pre-mixed grout, and it didn't hold up very well. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that no one cleaned this bathroom. I doubt that anybody even cleaned this in the 7 years that they were living here, or how many, I can't remember how many years. But regardless, this is supposed to be a stain-resistant grout that doesn't get stained. Unfortunately, over the years, it's just turned into mold. I mean, you could probably maybe get a steam cleaning service to get it out of there. But right at this point, like if I were to try to salvage this, I'd be just regrouting the shower. I'd be scraping this all out and regrouting it because I don't think you'll ever get this back to a nice clean look. The other problem with this bathroom is just the fact that the humidity levels in here were just out of control. The vent fan didn't work very well. So a lot of these mold issues are all just from that. When I took a shower, nothing ever dried. So anyways, we're gonna get rid of this. I've never actually torn out newer backer board. I've never torn out any foam backer board. So we'll see how difficult that really is to remove. So, all right, so first thing we need to do is just remove this cover. And again, I'm replacing all the plumbing, so I really don't care by necessarily what happens to this, just as long as I can get it apart. I might even use a Sawzall. And live stream up there, let me know how loud this is. I'm hoping there's some kind of noise suppression that helps out, but I'm not really sure. All right, so I'm just going to use the Sawzall to cut this off. And this was kind of one of my ideas, to be able to keep this nice and open in this bathroom. Because if I put a wall here, there used to be an existing wall here, as you can see, and that really enclosed the toilet space. That was a real problem. One thing I want to mention is that if you ever have a toilet space, you really need about 48 inches of space from the back of the toilet to the front. And even then, it still feels really crammed. But having a wall right here in front of you really made this uncomfortable. The other thing that was an issue is that my toilet was 11.5 inches away from the wall. So when you sat on this thing, you're kind of crammed in there. But anyways, this I thought was a decent idea, just putting a piece of glass and having a top rail on it. This is basically just a regular shower rod with an anchor on this. So this it worked out well. I think it worked out well. But again, this layout really stinks, and I really just want to get rid of it. Get that off there. All right, so I'll probably silicone the hell out of this. Let's see if we can pull this out of here. Of course I did. I don't think I would have screwed into the bottom. Maybe I did though. Yeah, I probably did. I have to be somewhat careful with tempered glass. There we go. Now we'll be reusing this. So yeah, I did screw that into place. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just remove all the tile around here. Can you see if they said anything about being too loud?
Sure.
Yeah, let me just unscrew this. These things are horrible, by the way. They always leak. Nothing ever shuts off on them. I do not advise this. I mean, these things work for maybe the month that you first buy it, and then afterwards they always leak. So you want to get something that has a separate diverter on it. All right, I go and check that.
No, there are no complaints.
Okay. Again, live stream, let me know if this is too loud. I really don't know until later when I review this video whether it's going to be. But what I'm going to do, again, everything's coming down. I'm just going to sawzall this out, start pulling this wall apart. I don't know how I did a decent job on putting that wall together. So, but at least try to get this back wall moving here first. Well, that's kind of nice. That's definitely gonna make this a lot brighter in here. I really put this wall. Man, it's really in there. Better primer. You can see the weedy board I have on there. Waterproof backer board. I guess that's the way it'll come off. Most of these foam backer boards, you gotta take it off towel by towel because they're all bonded so well to that. So I guess these newer boards are not going to be a difficult thing to remove someday. It just breaks in half there. It's kind of nice actually. Much easier than hardy backer.
You're shaking the whole house.
I am. Alright, so we'll just saws on this niche. No, it's not far enough.
Okay.
Suppose we can go ahead and reuse that. I don't think that's happening. I don't know why there's no wood in there. That nice wallpaper. Pretty nice wallpaper. Okay. I want to film on the other side to get a different angle. You can move that camera on if you want to. You know what? Before I take this down, why don't we just take a couple questions, I guess, if anybody has any. So I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with the weedy Not impressed, but I mean, just how easy it is to actually demo this stuff. I never took off old back or new backer board before, but boy, that's going to be kind of simple. You basically just each tile comes off with the backer board. So now, granted, I don't think I did have, it looks like every 16 inches. My screws are still in there that they pulled out on.
We're gonna have to cover up that window.
Really?
Oh
Let me look this up.
Somebody's asking, why was the window covered up?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. So, as I stated in the earlier, this was built in 1910, this home, and this window was always here. And when I first bought the place, I wanted to have a tub with an actual shower. So I put in this, I believe I put this in. I can't remember now. I'm almost positive I put this old crappy tub in, or maybe the homeowner just did it right before I got there. I can't remember now. But anyways, this used to be a clawfoot tub, and this window is always here. And the configuration of this bathroom really sucks with this window here. I mean, you got 4 foot here, you have 3 foot there, you had the toilet over here, and you had your vanity there. So there was really no way to have like an actual tub with walls at all, because it would have to be, I mean, I created this knee wall, but still to divide this, it was going to be right dead center in the middle of the window. So what I had done is I took out that window and framed this wall up, and then, made a regular tub out of it. It really wasn't a good idea. I made the outside of the house look terrible because you only had one window on one side of the house and nothing on the other. And, it all comes down to that I was, at the time, inexperienced and really wasn't willing to be able to go through a full renovation like this. I didn't know, there's a lot of things I didn't know then. I was only 21 years old. I had a business I was just starting to invest in. I was afraid. I was afraid to demo it and try to relay things out because I didn't know exactly what I was going to get into. Over time, I should have just redone it right at the beginning, because that would have, it would have been easier to renovate the house when I wasn't living here. And then also, I wouldn't have had all the additional issues I've had over the years. Essentially, I've had, just one repair after another, mold issues, all types of things. The ventilation fan barely works in here, so we'll have to see why that is. But yeah, there's a lot of things about this bathroom that I never really liked, and I wanted to get the window back in. So this is a brand new window. It wasn't always there. I was redoing the exterior and put the window in, and I knew that I was going to renovate this.
How long have you been bathroom remodeling professionally?
It's 2008. I started doing bathroom remodeling exclusively. It was a really hard decision at that time too, because I was doing everything all the time: general contracting, roofing, siding, windows, bathrooms, kitchens, you name it. I would just take the job and do it. I was staining decks, all types of stuff. 2008, I bought another house, redid the bathroom to a beautiful walk-in shower. Really enjoyed the work. Got a lot of great responses because social media started coming out then. I decided I was just not going to do anything but bathrooms. It was really tough at the beginning because I had to basically turn down everybody else, anything that anybody called me. If anybody wanted gutters or whatever, I just said, no, I don't do that anymore. It was kind of scary, honestly, especially 2008 when the market was kind of crashing. And, but over time, it only took a couple of years. And as long as I turned everything else down, I only did bathrooms, it built up my portfolio. It built up my confidence to be able to renovate bathrooms, and it just compounded. I ended up by 2014, I ended up doing really high-end bathrooms at that point. Stuff that I would have never dreamed of starting to do, like $40,000-$50,000 bathrooms, beautiful curbless showers. And you had to keep in mind, we didn't have this YouTube, social media, all this stuff to kind of give you ideas on how to go about renovating things. You just didn't have it. So it was really intimidating starting out because I didn't have the experience. But as time grew on, I went to Schluter seminars. I started talking to manufacturers. So it all kind of, but specializing made a world of difference, because then all I did was get the jobs that I actually wanted to do. And so from there on, I really just kind of come into an efficient pattern of how to go about doing these things. All right, so I'm going to move on. About another half hour, we'll talk some more if you guys have any greater questions, but I got to get all this stuff out of here, so there'll be a little bit of dead space here.
Can you stand where you're going to work next? If you come up the window.
Why is that really flying this out, huh?
Yeah, those cameras actually. It's just too much light. I mean, that should at least be better. It makes it look black and white. It's weird.
What's that?
It makes it look black and white on the white.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna get this stuff out of here. See what big?
Yeah.
Unless you're doing something right now, I was thinking maybe I can tap you in. You can show the house around the house when we can't ramble and stuff. All right, see if you can go on there.
Oh, my phone?
Yeah, and then you can walk around.
Cool.
Hey guys, all right, so I'm gonna try to get Nikki's phone on here so she can show around the house while I'm bringing stuff up and out, because there's gonna be a lot of dead space here for a minute. So let's see if I can capture her in here. She can walk you around the property. There you are. Okay.
There you go.
All right. You're probably not going to hear.
Sorry.
Oh, they're hearing you through your phone. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you go ahead. All right.
So, while Steve's cleaning up, I'm just gonna go downstairs.
Can you turn the camera on?
What's that?
Can you turn the camera around? Oh, okay.
I'll show you guys around the house while Steve's cleaning up. Many trips up and down the stairs, and there's a lot of steps in this house. So we'll start on the outside. I don't know if I can turn this thing around. That's kind of weird. You look and see.
Huh.
That just turns off.
What does mirror camera mean? Huh.
Yourself.
That's gonna be kind of tough to do.
Yeah, sure is.
That's so. I don't know.
I can try.
I guess you can.
Well, I can't turn the camera around, but we're gonna try it this way. So the shot of the house. Oh my God, it sucks. House, wouldn't that be nice if we were working there, but we're not. Okay. So for those of you who aren't very familiar with this project, and Steve's already worked on the exterior lot. So there's the house. He's gotten most of the exterior done. He replaced the front window, trim around the windows, replaced the siding, new front door. We're going to paint this, but it really is a huge improvement to what it used to be. So once you walk up, is why Steve is huffing and puffing so much. Get to the front door. Into the entryway where Steve is. Sorry, honey. The front door, the entryway here. I am so sorry, guys. And if anybody's chatting, I can't. This is like basically impossible. Video. No. There. Okay. Better. Front door. We are in the entryway here. I figured it out, Steve. And once you walk in, you go straight in the back here to the kitchen. We were not going to floor here. We're going to keep that the same. We're just going to clean it up. And the cabinets are also going to stay. But we are going to get new countertops. And Steve also put in a new back door, which, I mean, you can't really tell from here. Way better. There we go. So we're going to replace the stove, dishwasher, microwave, dress it up a bit. It's going to be new hardwood flooring in here, all throughout downstairs. Has a nice bay window. It's a mess in here. It's just how Steve works. And we have a fireplace. It's a nice focal point. And a lot of people who have lived in here before didn't quite know what to do. I guess this house was built in the early 1900s. This would have been the dining room, and then this would. So whenever we do market it, we'll probably stage. And this is the half bathroom, and it needs. We're gonna do tile on the floor. Steve discovered that his contraption to cover up plumbing so the sink used to be over here. So rather than removing it out, so it was like this ledge, and the sink was moved over here. But we're gonna get a new vanity, new mirror, new light fixture. Steve actually did do a lot of work in the basement, and I think you guys have seen a couple of clips when he did the electrical down here. Airy space, but it's actually improved quite a bit. Especially this little corner room here that used to be covered in cobwebs, but it's free from that now. So yeah, ever been in Pittsburgh? Not the best. Okay, so let's take you upstairs where the audio might be a little weird. I'll try to move it along. We are recarpeting the whole upstairs area. That's the plan.
3 bedrooms.
3 bedroom. Bedroom number 1. Small closets, but that's not uncommon for houses built this year or in 1910. This is the second bedroom. It's about the same size as the first, maybe a little bit bigger closet, but everything obviously is these workspace. And then the third, yeah, I guess it is. And that's where all of our live streams. Steve. Well, what are you gonna do? Okay, and then up to the 3rd floor, which is like a nice bone. Very echoey up here now because Steve tore out all the carpet. The smell is so much better though. A lot of great light. It's a lot of room for. There were 2 sisters living here. One lived up here, so she had her own. And the other one basically lived like on the 2nd floor kitchen. And this closet is huge. But yes, repair that. There was a lot of water damage from work from a long time ago. So that's been, and yeah, that's the house. Bearing with me here. Now I'm gonna shut up. Okay. You about done?
Yeah, okay.
You probably need to breathe.
So I don't know how bad. Yeah, you're turned off. Yeah. All right. So I hope that wasn't too frustrating to watch. We're gonna have to
We're still learning.
learn a lot of things on this.
Yeah, it'll go smooth.
It seems like it's pretty choppy. So, anyways, we're gonna keep on demoing. We move this camera. Going the wrong way. So we're gonna start removing some of this drywall. Really not looking forward to that. It's gonna have lath behind it. It's gonna have blown insulation, which is my absolute favorite. So, sort of that. Yeah, I think when you do that, you have to be very slow with your camera. Like, I feel almost like walking around is almost too much. Probably from now on.
I think it's just because I'm used to doing like
Yeah.
stories.
And it just doesn't have that. I mean, we'll see later on, but I have a feeling it just doesn't have the tracking. So you have to like focus on one, just leave it at that. Just technology, it's like an old Zoom call.
Yeah, yeah. Your line is dying. did it show right before? Whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna be over here. After.
You're not over there.
Well, maybe I should get this wall out of here in the tub, huh? Hold on. Let me move that camera back. Gotta move this wall. Like I said, I don't really care what happens to the plumbing because I've been doing it all. But normally you want to cut that tub. Please remove the drain assembly. This is an old cheapy shower resting on the inside too. Yeah. Lasted 20 years. Can't complain about that. The only scariest part is the floor. I don't remember how I did that, but there's over now. Respirator.
Where are you starting
All right, definitely we are a respirator. I had way too much of this stuff over the years. This whole day, blowing insulation is pretty nasty. I'm gonna do this for a second here. Huh? Yeah. This is just that thin. Can't see that here because I'm right below the camera. We have this old metal thin tile. Yeah. Well, just do another real quick Q&A. All right, so as you can see, that's quite a mess in there. I'm not gonna, let me go back to this. I'm gonna go to the split screen again. Oh, there we go. Okay, so as you can see, that's quite a mess. So I'm gonna clean that all up. No sense of keeping this going without it. But if any of you guys have any questions right now, let me know. I could answer a question right now or one or two. I'll clean this up, we'll come back live, and then we'll finish the rest of the demo here. It's pretty much most of the same, but you just never know what you're gonna uncover. So, about an hour and a half in, but yeah, nothing fun about this blowing in insulation, that's for sure. So, so I hope this forum's going all right. I guess I'll evaluate later and go from there, but we're gonna end the live stream right now, and I'll be back on. We'll probably take some lunch, so maybe around 1:30 or so. We'll be back on and we'll finish the rest of the demo, probably just the walls. I don't foresee me getting the floor up here right now. So, all right, well, hey, thanks for everyone who's viewing here. Again, I'll be back on around 1:30 to demo the rest of the bathroom and see what else we uncover. Because there's actually some things in here I really want to go about. Yeah, 1:30 Eastern Time, DST. Yep. So, all right, thanks so much.